They fired me and then discovered my work was legally mine. Not the whole product, not the whole company. One piece. The piece they couldn't operate without. And the moment they cut me loose, they didn't just lose an employee. They lost the right to keep using what I built. Monday, 9:08 a.m. Conference room 3A. Glass walls, cold lights, HR already seated. There was a folder on the table with my name on it. That's how you know your morning is over before it starts. My name is Hannah Price, and for 6 years I worked at a healthcare tech company that sold software to hospitals. The kind of software nobody notices until it fails. Because if it fails, nurses lose access, doctors lose data, compliance teams lose their minds, and executives start threatening contracts like it's a sport. During the pandemic, our platform became a lifeline. Hospitals were drowning, and our system was buckling under the load. Every day looked the same: urgent tickets, servers overheating, client emails that started with, "If this happens again," and leadership asking the same question over and over: "How fast can you fix it?" I wasn't even on the core infrastructure team. I was supposed to be supporting projects. But when you're the person who understands how the machine actually works, you don't sleep when the machine is on fire. So one night, 2:43 a.m., I'm on my apartment floor with my laptop on a chair, watching error logs scroll like a heart monitor. And the truth hit me hard. The platform wasn't just overloaded, it was designed for normal times. The world wasn't normal anymore. So I rebuilt one critical component, not the whole system, one module, a security and validation layer that made data transfers faster and stable and compliant. 2 weeks, no sleep, cold coffee, and that weird feeling where you close your eyes and you still see code. Then we deployed it, and everything changed. Dashboards stopped freezing, transfers stopped timing out, hospitals stopped calling every hour, contracts stopped wobbling, leadership went from panic to bragging. The company made millions on the back of that update. And what did I get? A great job in a meeting, a small bonus that didn't even match 1 month of what they earned, and a CEO who smiled with his mouth, but not his eyes, saying, "We're lucky to have you." That was it. No promotion, no raise that matched my impact, no protection, just gratitude without respect. And I knew what that meant. Because in corporate life, "we're lucky to have you" often means we're taking what you give us and you'll accept it. So I protected myself, quietly, legally, and very carefully. Here's the part people don't talk about. I didn't steal anything. I didn't hide code. I didn't sabotage the company. I did something simple. I read my contract. During the pandemic, the company rushed emergency paperwork to move faster. They needed solutions immediately. So they approved certain deliverables under contractor language, even for internal employees, because it was the fastest way to get legal approval. I noticed it. I asked a lawyer friend to review the paperwork. He read it, looked up, and said, "If you want protection, get it in writing now while everyone's rushing." So we structured that module as an external deliverable, a licensed component. The company could use it, but the underlying ownership stayed with the developer, me. I registered the work, saved version history, archived drafts, saved timestamps, and I went back to work like nothing happened. I didn't announce it. I didn't threaten anyone. I didn't want a fight. I wanted insurance. 3 years passed. Leadership changed, old executives retired, and the board brought in someone new, a new CEO, young, confident, perfect teeth, the kind of guy who walks into a room like the main character of a business podcast. His first day, he smiled and said, "We're cutting unnecessary fat and optimizing resources." Everyone laughed politely, I didn't, because I've heard that sentence before, and it always means the same thing. People are about to get sacrificed so someone can look powerful. Layoffs started within weeks. Support staff, developers, project managers, good people, the kind of people who actually keep the company running. And then I noticed something. People started asking me questions they'd never asked before. Specific questions, dangerous questions. How do renewals work on that module? Where are the keys stored? Who originally set the integration rules? It didn't feel like curiosity. It felt like preparation, like they wanted to reverse engineer my work before they cut me. Then my calendar invite came. Quick sync update. Monday, 9:08 a.m. Same glass conference room, HR, the CEO, a folder, and that professional sympathy face people wear when they want you gone quietly. The CEO didn't look nervous. He looked entertained. He said, "Thanks for your service, but the company's going in a new direction." Then he slid the paper toward me. "Your role is no longer necessary." I stared at it. Then I looked up and asked, calmly, "My role or my work?" He smiled like I was being dramatic. "Everything you built here belongs to the company. That's what you signed." And that's when I knew. He never read the addendum, not the way my lawyer did, not the way I did. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg. I just nodded. Understood. I took my box and walked out. No tears, no scene, because I wasn't losing anything. I was about to stop pretending it belonged to them. That night, I opened my documentation, my registrations, my version history, the contractor addendum, and the clause that mattered most. It said, plain and simple, any modifications beyond version 2.3 of the licensed module remained the intellectual property of the original developer, me. Meaning, they could keep running the old version, but they couldn't maintain it, renew it, update it, or expand it without my permission. And because the module required periodic renewals, their access wasn't permanent, not after they fired me. For the first time in years, I rested. I slept. I cooked real food. I went on walks without thinking about outages. Life felt mine again. Then the messages started. A former coworker texted, "Hey, dashboards froze twice today. Hospitals are furious." Then another. "Client escalated to legal." Then another. "Support tickets doubled overnight." Then the one that made me pause. "They're trying to renew the module, and they can't. Authentication keeps failing." I read it slowly, and I felt nothing. Not glee, not revenge, just confirmation, because I already knew what would happen. You can't replace the person who built the lock and still expect the key to work. A few days later, an email arrived. Different tone, different energy. Not the cold template HR used when they fired me. This one was polite, soft, almost sweet. "Hi, Hannah. We regret any recent misunderstandings. We'd like to discuss a potential temporary collaboration." I read it twice and smiled. I agreed to meet, not because I missed them, because I wanted to see him. Same lobby, same fake motivational posters, same burnt coffee smell. But this time, I wasn't an employee. I was the person holding the oxygen tank. The CEO was waiting, and he looked smaller. Not physically, just less sure of himself. His smile was gone. His fingers kept tapping the table like his body couldn't hide the stress. He started talking fast. "This was an administrative mistake. We didn't realize the registration was structured that way. We need your help to stabilize the platform." I let him talk. Then I said calmly, "I'm not bitter." He visibly relaxed. And then I added, "But you need to understand something." He leaned in. I said, "You didn't fire me." His face tightened. I continued, You just forced me to remove what was mine. Silence. His hand froze mid tap, and I let the silence sit long enough to hurt. Then I said, if you want to keep using my technology, I can license it. He started to speak. I held up one finger. Under my terms. That's when the power shifted. Not with yelling, not with drama, with paperwork, with receipts, with the kind of calm, arrogant people hate because they can't control it. We negotiated for a week, and when the final contract was signed, my name was at the top, not buried at the bottom like a replaceable worker. I didn't come back as an employee. I came back as the licensed owner of the piece they couldn't live without. Today, I work for myself. My company is smaller, but it's mine. And when people ask how I became independent, I tell them the truth. I lost my job and got my power back. Because sometimes justice doesn't scream. Sometimes it waits quietly and shows up as an email signed by the same person who thought he could replace you. So let me ask you, if they fired you from something you created, would you walk away quietly or would you take back what was always yours? Drop your verdict in the comments. And if you want more workplace betrayal stories with clean justice, like, subscribe, and share. Because here, one story always leads to another.